Yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. And today I just want to provide a quick, overview of the Saints' latest next football game, which will be against the San Francisco 49ers down in the Caesar Superdome, 12 o'clock slash 1 o'clock Eastern Time kickoff. They take on the 49ers, who are 1-0. The New Orleans Saints are 0-1 on the season. And a lot since the defeat to the Arizona Cardinals, a lot has transpired in regards to what could possibly happen or who could be available for the Saints' upcoming game against the San Francisco 49ers. And I watched that game after the conclusion of the Cardinals versus Saints game. I watched the 49ers versus Seahawks matchup. And to me, both of those teams look very beatable. They really do. And it looked like San Francisco, had issues moving the ball on Seattle, and Seattle had issues moving the ball on San Francisco. It was a low scoring game. 49ers won at the last minute. But what I took from that game is that the 49ers don't look like a juggernaut this season. But they still are. Based on their roster, they still have a good football team, despite the mass departures that they had in the offseason. Now, going into this game, they're going to be without a few of their top personnel. George Kittle is on IR, which means that he'll be out for the next 4 games. Brandon Ayuk, he still hasn't recovered from the injury he suffered last season. Brock Purdy is most likely not going to play because he has multiple injuries, a toe injury, and I believe a shoulder injury as well that he suffered in last week's game. And also, wide receiver Jawan Jennings, he could possibly not play. And from what I heard today, he did not practice. And also, Christian McCaffrey, he's been dealing with a calf issue, but he's played though. So the best chance to beat this team is this Sunday. If the Saints, this is the chance for the Saints to win this game and possibly the next game, put you at 2-2 going into Buffalo, and that will put you in good shape, in my opinion. Even if you beat Seattle and San Francisco back to back, you go 2-2, you lose to Buffalo, you 2-3 at worst. That puts you in good shape when you come back home to play, I believe, the New York Giants, who don't look like a really good football team right now. And maybe you might be playing a team that you probably will be playing a team that might have a different head coach, because if the Giants go 0-4 by that time, don't win the game, Brian Daboll could be fired. And like that, your season could be changed just like that. But the Saints still got to go out there and play these games and win them. Because even though they lost the first game, I was a bit encouraged. They moved the football, but they didn't execute in the red zone when they had a chance to, and they had penalties. Against the 49ers, that can't happen. They cannot have these penalties in the red zone. They cannot miss field goals in the red zone if it comes down to that. Because let me tell you how the Saints could lose this game. Right? All right, we get it. Brock Purdy is not starting. Right? They're gonna go with Mac Jones. Now, under a different regime a while back, under Dennis Allen, the Saints had their way with Mac Jones when he was the defensive coordinator. They had their way with him. They made him look like a rookie that season. Now, you most likely going to be playing Mac Jones in this game if Brock Purdy does not go. I think he's out. But this is how the Saints can lose this game. Could still lose this game. If Spencer Rattler has one turnover in this game, this football game, the chances are high that the Saints could possibly lose it. Because that 49 defense is that good. It's so good that right now that they can win a game 10-3, 10-0, 13-10, 7-0, 9-3. That defense, I can see that defense really stifling the Saints' offensive line, especially up front. It's that good. And also, they got the defensive coordinator is Robert Saleh, who was the defensive coordinator before that, before he took the Jets job. He's back with the team, and I see Saleh having the same game plan for the Saints wide receivers that Arizona had. Take away anything down the field and play up front. Let the Saints do what they have to do between the 20s. And once they get to the red zone, they're gonna force the Saints to stop them. They're gonna force the Saints to stop them. They're gonna take away the threat of Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave burning them deep, and just let them do whatever they want to do with the dink and dunk passes, screenplays. That's what they're gonna do. But then again, the 49ers also have Fred Warner, who's one of the best side-to-side linebackers in the game. One of the best linebackers in the game, period. Right up there with Demario Davis. So they're gonna have to be. This is a game where you got to be conservative. You got to be conservative to a certain extent, and you also have to protect the football. Blake Grupe cannot miss field goals in this game. Field goals in this game is going to be very important because I see a very low scoring game. I do, despite the 49ers not having that personnel. But this is a very winnable game for the Saints. And you look at the matchup predictor right here on ESPN. They got the Saints. They give the 49ers a 66.7% chance of winning this game. For the Saints, it's 33.1. Saints can win this game, man. You win this game, it puts you at 1-1 going into Seattle. Seattle does not look like a juggernaut. These games are winnable because they just are. And I know they're rebuilding, but this could go a long way for their confidence. This is a game where Spencer Rattler could get his first game of his NFL career as a starting quarterback. Now, just to give you an overview of the 49ers situation right now, I know Brock Purdy is hurt, but they lost a lot of personnel in the offseason. Some really good players to put things in motion for him to get paid a massive contract. And then what they've done is they are expecting him to lead this team with less resources around him, less reliable pieces around him compared to previous years. And the league did them a favor with their schedule. They have a very easy schedule to get into the playoffs. They have a really easy schedule. You look at it. They play the Cardinals next. They play the Jaguars, the Rams, the Bucks, Falcons, Texans. But to me, that's an easy schedule, man. They should be able to beat some of these teams, especially with that defense. But with Brock Purdy out, he's expected to miss a couple of weeks. This could change everything. And Mac Jones into the fold, The last time we saw him as a starting quarterback, it wasn't good. And based on what I've read in the past, is that that draft they had, they didn't want Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. That's the quarterback he really wanted over Trey Lance. But they went ahead and surrendered those picks to get Trey Lance. But that's neither here nor there. So Saints have an opportunity in front of them this Sunday to win this football game, and it'd be wise for them to play it smart. I don't think this is a game where you have to open things up drastically for Spencer Rattler. I think you can have the same game plan as you had against the Cardinals, but minimize the penalties, and also get Alvin Kamara more involved with the football. Get Alvin Kamara more involved with the passing game, the running game. Can Kellen Moore do that? We'll find out this Sunday. That's all I have for y'all for right now. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out.